What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So it's all been kicking off right now, as it pertains to your man, Oleksandr Usyk. He's sweet. He wants some of them 6'9", 270-pound cheeks real bad. No doubt about it. Here we go. Usyk on facing Fury. That is what I am dreaming of every day. I'm going to beat that booty 100% from the back. Yeah? Call me a liar. That's what he said. He be dreaming of Fury's saggy booty. He be dreaming of clapping it from the back. Yeah? 100%. Oleksandr Usyk says he is dreaming every day of Tyson Fury's flabby backside, and reiterated that he might not fight again if he does not get the fight with the WBC World Champion. Usyk claimed a split decision win over Anthony Joshua in Jeddah to retain the WBA, WBO and IBF titles. Waffle, 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 waffle. That is what I am dreaming of every day, Usyk said. I am going to beat that ass from the back like a mandingo. Yeah, like a longa wonga, 100%. So, in fact, there's more quotes here. This fight was extremely important for my country and team and for me. I boxed for the whole country and half of the world. It also differed from the first fight with Joshua, that I could not control my emotions, especially in round 9. That was the one surprising element. I saw in round 8 his eyes that he was feeling victorious already. I kept telling myself, you cannot stop, you cannot stop, you cannot stop. Some big things were at stake, and thank God the belts are coming back to the Ukraine. Victory is for us, and Ukraine won. Now just quickly, let me segue. And I have to respect Usyk, because guess what? Usyk had what AJ didn't. Yeah, Usyk had what AJ didn't. AJ ain't have that inside him. This right here, these quotes here, are what we call refusing to lose. That's what was going through Usyk's barnet. I refuse to lose. D'Amato would talk about it. Yeah? Mike Tyson says when he was in bed at night, D'Amato would tell him stories and tell him, whisper in his ear about how you must refuse to lose. Yeah, listen, AJ never had no D'Amato whispering in his ears. He rolled straight over. Yeah, whilst AJ was gassed off having one good round, Usyk, meanwhile, was building the inner fortitude. And that's what enabled him to come out in the 10th and have his best round. And really, that was the end of the fight. The 10th round finished the fight. AJ didn't do nothing after that. AJ had one dominant round. Wow, against a dude half his size. Anyway, back to the original quotes from Usyk. I can't lie to you. I like to talk, yeah? Now, I've told you, in my opinion, Fury, if he wants to, can knock Usyk out. Not knock him out, but I think he can stop him, is the point. I think, bearing in mind what we saw, AJ and Chisora have set the blueprint as such. I'm sorry, I know other people don't see it, but bearing in mind how little AJ did, and still, Usyk was in a tough fight. And that's AJ, someone who don't really want it. Same with Chisora. Chisora's nowhere near as good as Fury. Nowhere near as much gas tank. What happens when Fury, who's even bigger than AJ, even taller than AJ, what happens when he starts weighing on Usyk and actually committing to Usyk's body? What happens then? I think Usyk eventually will break down and he'll be stopped. That's what I envisage happening. Maybe he makes it to the 12th and he's been down 3 or 4 times. The point is, I don't see any way Usyk doesn't hit the mat against Fury. Unless Fury, the only way I see Usyk surviving, having not touched the mat against Fury, is if Fury decides to try and box with Usyk, which really wouldn't make so much sense. Although given the attributes I think Fury even could outbox Usyk anyway, to be quite frank. I think when you're 6'9", going up against someone 6'3", I mean, we saw Fury outbox Vlad, who was 6'5". I know it's not all about height, but trust me, 6 inches is mad. Let's not forget, I'm not saying Dillian Whyte's the best boxer in the world, but let's not forget how useless Tyson Fury made Dillian Whyte look. Dillian Whyte's a bona fide top 5 heavyweight right now, and Tyson Fury made him look like he was in a complete different universe. Now, I wouldn't expect Fury to make Usyk look completely useless, but it's all relative. Anyway, putting that to one side, I say that to say I like what Usyk is on here. I like the fact Usyk is on this thing. And whilst I back Fury to win the fight relatively easily, it has to be said, Fury right now for me is saying some weird things. I've got videos coming soon. Fury talking about, I would have fought AJ for free, but if you want me to fight Usyk, I'm going to need a lot of money, and weird stuff. So like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about no money from Fury. Yeah, you man get paid handsomely, regardless. Whether it's 50 mil or 80 mil, I couldn't care less. Over 10 mil, in my mind, it's all the same. You understand? So, as long as you're getting paid over 10 mil, I couldn't care less. And if that becomes an excuse, that for me is a duck. If Fury, because by the way, people, Usyk could be saying the same thing. He's not. All we've heard from Usyk is that he wants to fight. And I can't understand for the life of me why Fury does this for. It ruins his legacy. It ruins his mystique. Begging for money, and as if he's not, I mean, you wouldn't mind so much if it was like, well, YB, if he doesn't beg for money, he's not going to get it. You're going to get it anyway. Do you know? I just don't understand that. Keep it to yourself. Saying, oh, if I don't get paid, I'm not going to do the fight. It's just weird. It makes you sound scared or something. Because I've never heard Fury mention not fighting Wilder unless the money's right. Do you understand? Fury went in there with Wilder in 2018 for chicken feed, relatively speaking. So why now? And I've heard Fury talk about Usyk's a middleweight, and I agree, but the logic has to add up. If Usyk's a middleweight, if Usyk's food, if Usyk's the worst heavyweight champion that you've ever seen, why would you need to be compensated a lot for that? You should be saying, listen, I'll fight Usyk for cheap because it's so easy, no? So that whole narrative from Fury I don't rate. And I have to admit, in terms of who right now, even though I think Fury wins easily, but in terms of who's turning me on the most, it has to be Usyk. Usyk saying the right things, yeah? He dreaming of Fury. He ain't dreaming of 500 million. He dreaming of tapping Fury's booty from the back. That's what I'm with. Yeah, I'm on that. So Fury needs to sort himself out and stop playing these dumbass, weird-ass games. No one apart from a few Fury Man fans like it. No one wants to hear that you don't want to fight for less than 500 million. What's that about? It's really odd. Really quite odd. Especially for someone who in the past has said that, I don't even care about money. It's really weird. 500 million, it's never going to happen. Do you understand? It's absolutely categorically impossible for it to happen. And the worst thing is, I've seen Fury Man fans talking about, yeah, they best come with a 500. What planet are you on? Fury, in my opinion, should be grateful for anything more than 50 mil. Truth be known. For what it's worth. For the size of the fight. The fight really, it's big, but it's not that big. It's not AJ versus Fury big. You understand? But yeah, I like the way Usyk coming across right now. Usyk's already said, if I don't get Fury, I'm probably going to leave. Is that a shame? I mean, who else is there for him? I think, really, Joe Joyce. The Joe Joyce rematch. That's a fight. Or, assuming Joe Joyce beats Joe Parker, that is a fight I'd like to see. But really, Usyk versus Dillian Whyte, I don't really want to see that. Because for all we know, Dillian Whyte will come out and shit his pants just like AJ. Yeah? Because guess what? Dillian did exactly the same as AJ just did. Shut his pants. And actually, I think Dillian did worse. Dillian performed worse against Fury than AJ did against Usyk. At least AJ won a few rounds. Dillian didn't even win a minute of one round. So get Dillian's ass out of here. So who really else is there? Usyk versus Dubois? That does nothing for Usyk. And also, people got to remember, Usyk is also 35 already. He's not 32, 33 like Fury is. Realistically speaking, Usyk's already well into the last half of his possible career. Usyk's over his peak now, truth be known. It'd be very unlikely for Usyk's peak to be coming. He's well over the peak now. Probably 2-3 years ago, he peaked. So, all the odds really are against Usyk. And despite that, he's hungry for the fight. And I do really respect that as a challenger. As a competitor, sorry. He has all the things, apart from his style, which personally doesn't do it for me. Everything else about the guy, well, maybe not so much politically, but I mean, as far as the sport goes, apart from his style, I like the guy. The guy's wholesome. You don't hear him talk about money. You don't hear him talk about business. You don't hear him talk about weird stuff. He talk about dreaming of clapping Mr. Saggy Cheeks. That's all he want. And I rate that. And Fury really needs to flip the script and start echoing some of the things that Usyk be saying. Yeah? The fans don't need to be milked no more. We've been milked enough. What we need to have now, we need this event to be sold properly. Not, oh, I'm retired. Not, oh, I want 500 mil. But listen, we're both the best boxers in the world, and I'm going to show you how good I am. That's what the people want to hear right now. Usyk's doing his part. Fury, it's time for you to do yours. Yeah? No more weird ass, funny ass, dead ass bars. 100%.